Hello, professor and class. Today, I will be presenting my material justification for midterm number two. So, for this project, this class, I'm building around the clothing topic that it was introduced in my first midterm poster, and because of that, I am going to go work with first grade. So, first grade, first point. And then we have to understand that students around that age are between 6 to 7 years old. So because they're 6 to 7 years old, we have to understand that we have to quickly move on to the point of English level proficiency. So according to our proficiency guidelines, these students are at level 2. So emerging and low beginners. So CEFR A2. So at this stage, children have like basic vocabulary and familiar phrases, but limited ability to speak while independently, to be honest. They just don't say anything, but they're very comfortable saying what they already know at their point of age. So they rely heavily on constant repetition and direct visuals around support to process language. So, knowing this level 2, we move on to the category of maternal development. So, because I have done a digital adaptation, I chose one from Britain's Council Close. That's the link that I have for the homework, the work that I chose for this. So it's an interactive vocabulary game. This material falls perfectly under the category of learning resources. So as an outline in our classroom documents, like learning resources are materials that students use directly to acquire and apply knowledge. This game completely avoids formal assessment testing. So instead, it serves highly active, low stakes where first graders can interactively match words, native audio, and a vivid image to naturally reinforce the clothing vocabulary we introduced on our classroom poster that we did in midterm number 1. So because of that, we have one check, learning resources. We move on to the objective. So I designed two this lesson around two core learning objectives. So first, students will be able to successfully match basic clothing vocabulary words with the correct visual image by interacting with the board. In other words, the class or the homework that I found in Britain's. So the second is students will produce simple oral responses using the structured sentence, I am wearing blank. So once they connect the items correctly on the screen, they will immediately transition from passive recognition to active spoken production. So after having those two very strong main objectives, we move on to the activities. Well, the first time I did the midterm number 1, I understood after that just putting one big activity doesn't really like very spoken directly. So what I did here is I made a pre-activity, an activity, and a post-activity. So to achieve these goals, this activity is broken down in 3 points that I just mentioned. So in the pre-activity, students look at the digital game and click on the bright orange audio icons that we see there, and they listen to the clear audio of words like t-shirt, like best, or shoes. After that, during the main activity, students actively drag the written word box of its matching cartoon illustration on the digital board. So they get instant feedback as they play. So finally, in the post activity, once they hit 100% success screen, students will point to the item on the screen one at a time and speak the full sentence framed from our poster out loud, saying, for example, I am wearing a t shirt or I am wearing shoes. And those are the activities. After that, we move on very quickly to language skills used. So here we have 3: listening and reading that we see to our left, and speaking that is with the poster. We'll see why is that. So, listening, students must listen to the high quality digital audio to recognize the spoken names. This fits in the emerging level, so where uh, auditory input always precedes oral production. So, reading, students practice basic, that word, logographic, word recognition, matching short labels directly to pictures, which is ideal for first grade readers. We have to take that a lot into consideration. And speaking. So, by completing the task with the support of the poster, key communicative question, what are you wearing? Students successfully produce a structured phrase, boosting their speaking confidence a lot. Because now we move on to the thank you part. And I'm going to give a really quick conclusion to the point is that in conclusion, like connecting a static classroom poster with a dynamic digital learning resource creates like the ultimate learning environment for our youngest learners because it takes the intimidation out of speaking English in a classroom. So it changes passive listening to active speaking and ensures our first graders to grade like emerging students master the vocabulary with confidence, which is the most important part for me. So, thank you very much. This has been my midterm number 2 video, of course.